Ladies and gentlemen, this is ProWSoul from ProWSoul.co.uk, and today is Money in the Bank 2015 review. Yep, that's right, people. Money in the Bank 2015 just happened just recently, and what a show it was. And now I would say this was better show than the other show which happened 2 weeks prior, which was Elimination Chamber. My liking, the whole purpose of Elimination Chamber was for the Intercontinental Championship and supposedly the World Tag Team Championship. But let's be honest, the whole match, the whole event really kind of wasn't. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was good enough. You could say that because they delivered a bit. But today I'm going to be talking about Money in the Bank. So, what is the big thing which is happening now? First of all, straight up, um, it's sad news, man. It's a blue day. That's right, it's a blue day because the New Day have lost their tag team championship. Now, the thing is, it's shocking, it's hurting, and by gosh, it hurts inside that the New Day is no longer the WWE Championship, but what can you do? It's a crime to humanity, and I guess we're just gonna have to settle with Bo Dallas with his positivity. Although Xavier Woods, I have to say one thing for sure. Xavier Woods, he is great in his cynicism and the way he was expressing himself just prior to the match. Basically saying that Kofi Kingston lost. He basically sacrificed himself for you guys, and this is how you treat us. And Biggie was like, "Oh, calm down. I'm just gonna insult them by mentioning something I couldn't really remember exactly what he was talking about exactly at that particular time, but it was rather funny. But the match itself, the tag team championship match, it was boring, and then somehow they won, and I don't even want to say the opposition's name. You'll have to look them up, unfortunately. But man, I don't know why they've actually. This is the thing with the WWE. They build guys up, but then they flop them down straight away. I mean, it's only been like about a couple of months or so. I think the latest probably 3 months where the New Day have actually started to heighten, and they're actually becoming great heels, which everybody hates and everybody wants to jeer. And they are extremely funny and consistent in the way they're talking, and they're natural at it. They're natural, you know, pretend hypocrites. You know what I mean? They're the biggest hypocrites of them all. We're positive, but we're cheaters as well, and that's what's so awesome about it. The fact that you know I mean, the world is in on it, and the fact that everybody chants "New Day rocks," sorry, not rocks, sucks, and go along with it. It really works with the, the guys. It's kind of sad, it really is. They've had to lose the title, but hey, it's had to happen, I guess. Who knows? Let's hope one thing for sure, though, that in the future, it's not the end of New Day. I mean, the feud that New Day were having with what's her name? Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. That feud, it should have lasted a couple of more months for my liking, but suddenly, out of nowhere, these other guys have just come up, and their feud has lasted, and they've won the title. Now, this is one of the weird things which I really don't understand is what's going to happen now. Is the next title run only going to last for another couple of months? Or are Usos coming back or something? Is that what it is? Or what is exactly happening here? Because, the tag team division, they've never really they should focus on the tag team division quite a bit, really. They've got a great division of guys. SmackDown is really running thin in terms of, entertainment value. I mean, it's always the repeat matches from Raw, which they're always showing on SmackDown, and it's kind of like, oh, come on, man, we've seen this already on Raw, and it's just, basically it gets to a saturation point when you see Roman Reigns in another match with the same person or somebody else, and you don't want to see that. So they've got the tag team division. Let's just hope they build the New Day back up. And that's one thing for sure, because they are brilliant. They are absolutely brilliant in my opinion, and they should definitely build them up. Now, on to the next match, which is basically the Big Show, which was he defeated Intercontinental Champion Ryback via disqualification. Why? Because The Miz came out to talk to not Jim Ross. What's the name? The guys on the announce table, and the shocking thing is why? Why is he getting involved in this feud? Isn't you know the Ryback supposed to be getting a basically big push right now? Why is the Miz suddenly involved in this rubbish? It just doesn't make any sense to me. What is the logic in that? I mean, maybe Miz's movie's coming out soon or something like that. Maybe he's done another movie which is going straight to the dustbin, because I will never watch one of his movies. I just don't. I refuse to do so. Sorry, I'm not a huge fan of the Miz in his movie respect. In his in-ring respect, he's okay. I will give him that. In terms of being a heel, he does play a good heel. But the only downfall that I do have with the Miz is why would you put him with these other guys? He was doing good in Miz TV, and suddenly now he's in between Big Show and Ryback, and he cost a Big Show to win the title. What was all that about? Do they actually know what they're doing, or is this a WWE thing where they just thought, I know, let's throw the audience off guard and do something completely original, but honestly, we don't have a clue what we're doing right now. I think it's one of them things. I do. It certainly is. I mean, unless you can have a triple threat match, oh, that's what it is. And the next pay-per-view, they're going to have a triple threat match, and it's just going to be a waste of time, because right now is the time to build Ryback. Ryback is becoming a big star. He's talking more on the microphone. He's doing everything good. He's becoming a fan-friendly dude, and he needs the push. Miz has had his opportunity. He's come and gone. He's won the WWE Championship, and that's it. He's had his time. Let the new gun come in town, man. Let the new sheriff come in town, and we need the Ryback in here, and I really hope that happens. I hope they still give the push to the Ryback. I don't know why I keep saying the Ryback. It sounds better. Maybe he should refer himself to that as well. The Ryback, or I know he calls himself Big Guy, but whatever. Anyway, it sounds interesting for sure. But, well, at least he never lost a title. That's one good thing. Now, on to the next match. The kickoff show match. Sorry, I didn't go on about it, but I didn't even watch that. I'm sorry, but apparently, R-Truth defeated King Barrett. What a way to go for these two guys. I have to say, R-Truth is a guy who, honestly, I think he could have had he could have been like Booker T. If they used him right, they could have made him like Booker T. And he had his rap ability. He sounds like mystical when he's on the microphone. Did the WWE, capitalize on that? No, they just threw him under the bus and made him go out and become this crazy guy who's Little Jimmy, Little Jimmy, Little Jimmy, and then when he feuded with John Cena, that's when it went downhill. And people can argue with me, whatever you want to say, but the truth is, check out just before he was feuding with John Cena. He was doing a good feud, and this whole Little Jimmy thing, it was more of a shtick where he was going, oh, I have to come out and act like, oh, hello, little Jimmy. How are you doing? I have to smile for you. But then John Cena came out with Mr. McMahon and said, oh, you know, suddenly you're talking about little Jimmy and little whatever. You ain't you going crazy? And that's the theme which McMahon pushed him to do. And go back and check. Anybody, I dare you. I am absolutely right. And then from that period, it was just downhill for R-Truth because he just had to go and pretend that he was talking to this invisible little child on his left. And since then, he's become a comedic guy. I mean, on the last Raw, which we had, that was a funny little segment when he came out and he said, I'm in the WWE, Money in the Bank match. And he went, you ain't even in the match. And he was like, ah, sorry, man, my bad. It was quite funny. It was quite funny. He's a great, talented dude, man. And he's a great, talented brother. And quite frankly, he should get the push, man. He should have got the push. No, I don't think so. I think he's... time's gone bad, but what can you say? But he defeated King Barrett. And King Barrett, I have to say, what a waste. What a waste of this British dude, man. The guy is 6'7", and he's British, and they had that good gimmick with him where he was all about the bad news, and now suddenly they decided to give him a king's crown and a scepter, and this whole thing, it doesn't work. It is just not worked because he was trying to do the same King Booker thing. All hail King, Barrett, and he was just trying to do the same thing as him, and it just was not working. The whole gimmick lacked something, and it's still lacking on something. I think maybe he needs to be a bit more obnoxious and make people kiss his feet and do some kiss his feet match or something like that, and look down upon everybody and make fun of them or something a bit more. And he should be a bit more snobbish. That will work for him. If King Barrett's in my liking, but my gosh, they're on the kickoff show. Well, anyway. Well, at least they got more eyes on, the product as such, and they've got more eyes on themselves around the world, because not everybody tuned in for the WWE Network thing. No, the big main event of the evening, well, it wasn't. There was a couple of more, but the main one which I'll just go on about is John Cena. Now, he defeated Kevin Owens. Now, this one is a bit of a weird one for me because I knew this was going to happen. I knew John Cena was going to win the match. And it was kind of a bad... I mean, it wasn't too bad because, you know what? John Cena has given Kevin Owens a good chance for him to build himself up. But what I would have liked from John Cena is in Elimination Chamber, if he would have lost that match, if he would have won that match, and then Kevin Owens would have gone, man, that was a fluke, you gotta come and wrestle me again. And then suddenly in this match, if Kevin Owens won maybe by an inside cradle or something like that, and that would have just been a brilliant thing, a brilliant segment. And then both of the guys could have, rode off into sunset, and he could defend his NXT title, maybe even on a SmackDown, and go back on NXT. Apparently, he's going to be on Raw a lot more, but I think that would have basically helped Kevin Owens up the ladder in the WWE in Raw a lot better. The fact that they made him lose, it's not going to be helpful for Kevin Owens, and especially when the way Kevin Owens reacted. I think Kevin Owens, I have to say, I can't fault John Cena on this one, because at the end he did give him the opportunity to kind of, have a bit of salvation for himself there, not salvation, that is not the right word, a bit of resolve for Kevin Owens for himself by trying to shake his hands. And Kevin Owens, I think he should have gone, because he's a heel, he should have not kicked him in the stomach and, powerbombed him on the side of the ring apron. I think that was a bad mistake, and I think that shouldn't have happened. And I, yeah, it just made him seem like a, weak heel who's insecure about himself, and that's not a way for him to go, Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens needs to. What he should have done was basically gone, I ain't gonna shake your hand, and this ain't over, son. This ain't over. And we're gonna fight again. And then they would have both separated, and then they could decide what they want to do with their careers. Maybe I think Kevin Owens needs to then move on to somebody else, maybe fight for another title, or you know, take Seth Rollins' space or something like that. Who knows? And then John Cena does the same thing on Raw, what he always does, and then that would just be a good, good little end. Because I really do worry, because whoever wrestles with John Cena, their careers go downhill, and you can argue with me about that, but if you look at the stats, if you look at Bobby Lashley, who's a big star coming up, boom, he started going spiraling down. Edge, he was the only guy I would say who's actually evolved with um, John Cena. But the only problem was he was more of a weed type of heel. He wasn't more of a guy who was on John Cena's level type of heel. He would always seem as though he was a scared, pompous heel, and not like a Triple H, or a Undertaker type of, not a authoritative heel, way an established heel. But Edge still, he still lived up his bargain. But I mean, if you look at the ratings, no, he wasn't as good. And I do have to say that is to do with John Cena, because the amount of matches that they had as well was quite immense, and a lot of the time John Cena won. Majority of the time John Cena won, which made Edge look bad and, not great. And if you look at anybody's career with John Cena, Randy Orton as well, I do feel as though Randy Orton could have been better. I think a lot of the times where they feuded, he could have won a few times a lot more earlier. I mean, most recently he has been losing, John Cena, but is to guys like Randy Orton and stuff. But I think it's too little, too late, really. And but in general, just a clear example. Look at Rusev. He won one match with John Cena, and then on the second time, what happened? He lost the match, and then on the third time, he lost the match. And I think that the fourth time, then he lost the match as well. We had another, I think it was a fourth match, and then he lost the match, and then he broke his foot. And I mean, his career's not over, but he's not exactly that big authoritative guy, where he's the Russian brute, the guy who's going to kill everybody. He's not that guy, and it's a shame. And I hope that doesn't happen to Kevin Owens, that is for sure. I do hope he starts to feud with someone else besides John Cena, because if he does start to feud with John Cena, I do think it will go the wrong way around. I don't think it will be good for him. Now on to the Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, what can I say about this? What can I say? What a crazy match. I didn't expect any of this. I didn't expect Sheamus to win, but he won. I mean, I'll be honest, it was a good match, because I was on the edge of my seat. Simply because of all the crazy athleticism that everybody was doing. Everybody was just going. I still have to say, I hate it when I see Dolph Ziggler headbutting. Why? Why are you trying to do that? Last time he did that to Daniel Bryan, he started feeling pain himself, and then he did that to and you can check it yourself. Go and check in WrestleMania match, I think it was. They had a match over there, and then he was like, he was starting hurting himself there, and then he headbutted Sheamus again. And what happened? His head opened up, and then what? He's decided to headbutt again for some apparent reason, and my gosh. Well, he didn't win. I mean, it wasn't likely he was going to win anyway, but Sheamus, my gosh, that was out of the blue. I mean, at one point I did think, what's his name? Neville was going to win it. I really did. I thought, damn, they're going to give this new guy a push. This is going to be good. I really would like to see that. Because, I mean, the last time that there was there was a cruiserweight who was getting a chance and who was going to be an established star, who was an established star and who was a big timer in my opinion, was Eddie Guerrero. And I think that's just my opinion. I mean, you could say some other people, but I mean, I wouldn't say Rey Mysterio. So I wouldn't personally, but I would say Eddie was an established cruiserweight, and he was a guy who was a WWE Championship champion as well. And you could say, yeah, he was the man. And I think Neville was going to be the guy at that one particular time, and then no, that didn't happen. And I thought, okay, fair enough, no worries. But then Roman Reigns was just about to jump on the ladder, and then guess what? Bray Wyatt came out. And he came out with his butcher's apron on, and started to do. Well, he did that thing with his finishing move, which the Abigail. What a name! Gosh, man, they really gotta work these names. Kind of not think of some more scarier names or something like the Grim Reaper or something like that, or something something crazy, man. Oh, why do you have to think of something stupid like that? That was just the Abigail. The whatever. I don't know. You want to say it just sounds stupid. But then he hit him with that, and their feud is gonna be working now. That if you've ever listened to my audio before in the past, you know what I've been going on about. A feud between Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns would make them two guys work together very, very well, and I think that is ideal, and I hope that's the direction they go in. If you haven't listened to it, please go listen to it. Yep, it's on my other, other videos. Please check it out. Anyway, I would have very much appreciated. And then the last match. Wow, this match. Well, first of all, let me just tell you what it was. It is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. And Seth Rollins, he's kind of getting this babyface vibe, supposedly. And I think it's kind of working good for him, where he's trying to do everything on his own, and he's trying to say, I'm the man. And then Triple H gives him this big pep talk saying, to show them why I picked you. Show them why you are the chosen one. You go out there and you show what you are. And Seth Rollins was like, yeah, I'm going out, I'm gonna kick his rear end, and that's exactly what they both kind of did. The match went on a bit long. It was, my gosh, I would have to say the amount of punishment, the crazy high spots that they had to do, I think there was too much. Why did these guys have to? That's one of the things with Ambrose and Rollins. They have to do a lot of high spots. These guys, I think these guys know how to work with each other, and they want to push it to the next level. I have to say that was a good match. I have to say that, and you got to give credit where credit's due. For both of the guys, there was one moment in the match where Seth Rollins got clotheslined and he was lying on top of the rope, and Dean Ambrose clotheslined him, and he somersaulted from the top rope, and landed on his back, and everybody was clapping like in applaud. It was kind of like a like, oh yes, we respect your athleticism type of applaud, because it was a, these guys, it was definitely a great match to watch in terms of technical abilities and athleticism, and it was very good to see. And these guys tried to show it for themselves, and oh my gosh, Ambrose takes a lot of punishment, doesn't he? That power bomb. I think what's the name? Rollins does his power bomb where he grabs him, and then he does a power bomb where he knocks him to the turnbuckle. But instead of doing it to the turnbuckle, he chucks him on the outside. When he's outside, he chucks him at the side and the barrier, and they land awkwardly. And you could tell Dean Ambrose landed a couple of times, pretty bad on his spine, and it was like, dude, man, you gotta cut these stuff off. And then Seth Rollins landed on his back as well on the ladder and broke the ladder. I mean, it was obviously the ladder was set up that way to break, but damn, these guys are pushing it, man. They're pushing it, and but in the end, what a bizarre ending it was. Seth Rollins won. Yeah, and it won it clean. It was rather bizarre to see. It really was. It was both went for the title. Dean Ambrose grabbed it, and as they were landing, Rollins pulled it out of his hand and won. And that was the end of the match. And Triple H came out congratulating him, and then the announcer came in and said, "Have you got anything to say?" And I thought he would have come out with something better, but I don't know, maybe he had such a big match, and what could he think? He couldn't think of anything, but he went, "I told you all, baby, ha 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 ha." I think Seth should have, really worked it. Like, you all doubted me, people. You all doubted me, and now I'm the champion. You gotta respect me. He should have done something like that, but it didn't work. What can you do? But still, they've got a lot of I am kind of bamboozled in terms of what they're gonna do. I mean, he's obviously still a heel, but I thought the direction they were gonna go in is Ambrose was gonna win, and I would have preferred that, to be truthful. Ambrose was gonna win, even if it's for a couple of weeks or whatever it is. That would just be ideal, Let Ambrose win, and then after a couple of, and then they could have feuded. Triple H and Seth Rollins could have feuded between each other. That would have been ideal. And then in SummerSlam, they could have been fighting each other. I thought that would have been the best prospect to build both guys up, because I think not both guys, but I mean build Rollins back up in our eyes, because sure, the match itself against Dean Ambrose was pretty damn awesome, so he earned his respect there. But I mean, I'll be truthful. It seemed to me with the way that Dean Ambrose lost, it was just like, I mean, I don't know. It was just a bit of a bizarre thing, because it's like, no, what's now for Ambrose? He's not gonna get a top spot or anything like that. Maybe he will. Maybe they'll chuck him in straight back in the shark pool again. But and he's had a few chances, hasn't he? And I don't think I don't know if that will fit. But I would have preferred it if Dean Ambrose would have got the title, and then he could have had a few matches here and there, and then Brock Lesnar come back and finish him off, and that would have been a good way to build a couple of the guys. But we don't know what's gonna happen, and that's what we tune in for, don't we? To see what is gonna happen Was it interesting? Was it damn good? Yeah, I would have to say this whole card itself, Elimination 2015, definitely worth a watch. The last match went a bit long for me, but I just think it generally just had um, the amount of damage they were doing. I thought, man, it's coming close to the end now. Now there's gonna be someone's gonna win. Now someone's gonna win, and then no, it didn't. But besides that, I really have to say I enjoyed it. It was definitely damn good, and I would advise anybody else to go watch it as well. It was certainly a damn good card for sure. And there was lots of scenarios in terms of the future. What will happen now? I think the biggest thing is what direction they're gonna go with. What they're gonna do with Seth Rollins? That's just crazy. I mean, there is still a lot of scope, but I would have personally liked it, considering the fact that Brock Lesnar is coming back soon, is for Triple H and Seth Rollins to feud, but maybe not. Anyway, what do you guys think? What do you guys think, the event was good or not? Um, what do you guys think of my thoughts in terms of future likelihood, etc. And yeah, let me know. Please like, subscribe, share, do the full thing. Please share as much as you or listen as much as you can, and give me some free money as well. No, but seriously, if you do have free money, I'm only kidding. But if you, yeah, no, I'm just kidding anyway. But generally, please like, subscribe, share, and tell people about it, man. Come on. Thank you very much for listening to this. Peace out, everybody. Peace.